It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. They'll be led out by the former Tar Heel, their rookie quarterback from UNC.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. To the air, May. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
To throw, it's May. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
So on fourth down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. The Chiefs bring pressure, and they block it. And they will wind up with the football and the possession. Special teams putting a mark on this game early. Opening drive, block punt.
And for one team, it's a good mark, and for the other, not so good. And this is why special teams coaches are like designated hitters to me. They don't get very many opportunities. They need to maximize when it comes their way. And as we just said, one of them did.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Second down and a little more than a yard here. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Chiefs are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
First and goal at the 4-yard line.
Here we go now on first and goal. Now Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Here's Mahomes to throw. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Good coverage yet again down here by the goal line. Everyone's blanketed, and he's forced to throw it away and try and come up with something on third down.
And now third and goal following incompletions on first and second down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Touchdown! And Xavier Worthy from 4 yards out. And the Chiefs take the block punt and convert it into 6 points. Well, down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing here is May. Short pass caught by Henry. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Looking to throw, May. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender, but a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Again, it's Pacheco. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. And that's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock the ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. That one caught by Rice. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Pacheco gets it up the gut, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now here's Mahomes. Throw left side, completion to Rice. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Mahomes going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they've played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. New England trying to get a place on offense. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. The drive starts with a carry by Stevenson. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Stevenson gets it again on second down. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's May. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And they go play action with May. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Whenever I see an in route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them, because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Here's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead at Stevenson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. George Karlaftis. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Already up 2 touchdowns. How about that drive killer of a sack there to add to their good play? This offense coming away with no points now when some kind of score was desperately needed.
Here's Bryce Behringer now. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
$14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter. From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Working from the gun, Mahomes. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. That'll give him 8 that time. And 3rd and 1 now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now it's Mahomes again. He finds Hopkins complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That is caught. And he will have a Chiefs first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And the Chiefs are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. And Xavier Worthy on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs take a 3-touchdown lead. And this is turning out to be something to monitor as this game goes along. That's now 3 touchdown catches for him here in this first half alone. Butker on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. New England's offense set to go. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
2nd and 10. Here's May. Short pass caught by Henry. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to have a Patriots first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
To the air, May. He'll dump this down to Stevenson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Short pass caught by Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Stevenson. Down to about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Stevenson gets it again on 2nd down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. May now off the bootleg. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
Holding offense.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Straight ahead, Gibson. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the gun, it's May. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
On 4th down, on comes Joey Sly for the Patriot field goal. This from 32 yards away. Sly able to put this one through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complementary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out, there could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's got a man, complete. Now he's into the clear again. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to add on to their first-half lead. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Butker now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And now out come the Patriots. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Throwing here is May. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Michael Dana. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. They'll throw with May. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Douglas, the man in motion. From the shotgun, May with it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
To throw, it's May. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense They've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
2nd down and 6 now. They'll send a tight end in motion right.
Delay of game.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 2nd down.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now here's Mahomes. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Mahomes to throw once more. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
When you run into slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Mahomes now to throw. That ball caught. It's Rice. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
That one caught by Rice. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. And again, it's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. The partner is still in the 3rd quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the 4th quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Hopkins. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Pacheco will take this one in. It's a Chiefs touchdown. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Butker on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. May. Oh, he's got some breathing room. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Slot man moves right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. That one good for 13 and a New England first down. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Douglas, the man in motion. From the gun on 3rd down is May. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Sly able to put this one through, and that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. To throw, it's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So the completion good for 7 there. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end. Now Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelsey. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8. Mahomes going to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 33. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd down and 3. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. On play action, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
As you know, so many things in the passing game are based on yardage. Sometimes it's just based on timing. And that's what we saw right there on that play. 3rd and 3. Just get the ball right to the receiver.
It was the hitch route. And tell us, what is the hitch route?
Yeah, just take really one step like you're driving off the line of scrimmage, get the defensive back on his heels, get the ball out to the receiver, and he does the rest.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 47 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on 1st down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Bourne going to go in motion right here. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The tight end Henry here in motion. On the handoff, Stevenson. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's May. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll throw with May. Gets this complete to Butte. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing here is May. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, 26 yards. And the Patriots are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
Joey slide out, a kickoff after the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it, and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Pacheco gets it again on second down. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Here's Pacheco once again to the 43, second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now Mahomes gives to Hunt, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. Trying for it with Pirine. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
A give right side for Pacheco. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he gets this all the way down to the Patriots' 9. 87 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Here's Pacheco. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. New England trying to get a place on offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
To the air, May. And this is going to be dropped. Oh, my gracious. There was no one in his area code, but he could not hang on to it.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. To throw, it's May. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Patriots send out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. This will be fielded at the 17. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Pacheco gets it again on second down. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Now here's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey, and he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here's the Chiefs punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This is taken at the 15. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Patriots take over. New England's offense set to go. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Setting up a screen for Stevenson. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a New England 1st down. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun, May with it. He finds Douglas complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 13 and a New England 1st down.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Finding Bourne here over the middle. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Looking to throw, May. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point by Sly is up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL.